I be damn fool, cuz. What's up, bro?
Yo.
You're in the stew, man. You're in the stew where that song was made.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, that's what I meant about that car is gonna be in a museum one day, man.
A lot of man. I mean,
happened there, and it's gonna be like in the Palestinian museum.
It'll be listen, man. I don't know if it'll end up in a museum, but I do know this. Well, you know, because a lot of people are like, "Why don't you get a new car? Why don't you get a new car?" And first of all, no. But second of all, I have either one of two plans for this car. My first plan, which is my primary plan, is to completely rebuild it. Like whenever its time comes, like I don't give a fuck. Like I'll buy a new engine, new battery, new everything, just completely give it a brand new life and keep driving it. And then second, to modify it a little bit and create more creation ability in here. Like maybe get rid of like some part of like the center console and add like a little place where I can record. Like just have someone make it. Because right now you can see like I'm recording in here. Uh-oh, what did I just do?
No, you're good.
But like, you know, it's a mess.
Yeah.
But like if I had like a more user-friendly space, man, I could kill in here.
Oh, 1,000%. Hey, you know who you have to hit up? Exhibit.
Yeah, he's gonna pit my ride.
Oh man, dude. Hey man, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this with me. I know you've been on a nice, crazy press run this week. Well deserved.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking time for Palestine in America, man.
Come on, man. You made time for me before all the crazy press, so how can I not make the time for you?
You're listening to the Palestine in America podcast with your host, Nader Ihmoud. I'm with Mokhiber, who is an artist and so much more. And we got to talk to him around this time last year and really got a deep dive into who he is. This last week, he's had a crazy week, okay? And we'll let him kind of describe how that was for him, even though he's been talking about it a lot this week. But when Justin Bieber hops on your live and co-signs, that's huge. So let's just get right into that. And how you doing? And how did you feel when you saw him pop up?
Well, I'm feeling grateful, man. You know, it's not just for, you know, the co-sign or anything, but just for the fact that I released a song 2 weeks ago and it already has over 500,000 streams, which means, you know, there's hundreds of thousands of people who are feeling what I'm making. And that's crazy. Like as an independent artist, that's your dream. Mm-hmm. That's the way that you can live as an artist. And so gratitude is the number one emotion that I'm feeling for everything, for that, for the experience with Justin Bieber, for just a lot of growth, personal growth. And yeah, man, I can't complain. So yeah, I would say that's how I'm feeling.
Oh, and the cool thing too is like, I know I've been, and full disclosure, I'm a fan. Okay. And I've been a fan of you since before you even released your first single, bro. When you started doing those freestyles, I was like, man, this guy's talented. And so when I saw that live, and I wasn't watching it live, and I'm so mad at I usually cut your lives, but this time
you're always in my lives, man. You're always there.
But then I saw you reposted after the live, and then I'm like, bro, at first I thought you were just like, you know, goofing around. You made some
April Fools.
You know, and you made some edit with Justin Bieber down there. And I watched it like 2-3 times. I couldn't believe it, bro. I was like, holy crap. Not only did he ask you to perform it again, but y'all broke it down with each other. That was dope. So, but while that was going on, to, you know, not to overlook Justin, but I saw your homie in the background, right? And so when I started thinking of who was your first friend that heard you freestyle and it was like, bro, this is it. This is you. Like, you know?
It was the two guys that were in the car. You know,
Okay.
It was Yusuf and Issa. They were both in the car, and my brother, Salim. But those were, you know, when you asked just two friends, like those were the two guys I freestyled for the first time ever in my life in the driver's seat with Yusuf in the shotgun. And we're talking 13, 14 years ago. So, you know, it is very poetic that he was in shotgun for that moment.
Yeah.
Because not too many people have been blessed with friends like that are loyal, that you keep them around for a decade and a half, but also that they've been a part of your journey and that they've supported you from day one. You know, Yusuf was also one of the first people I told I was going to make music to. Issa was one of the first people I told I was going to make music to. So they both you know, those are brothers to me beyond friends, but they definitely, you know, it was very poetic to have them and also to be able to celebrate it with, you know, my brother and my wife and family.
Yeah, and that's my next question too, is because I'm like, you're doing it in your car, and your wife is, I don't know where she's at that very moment, but the first instinct in my head is I'm going, I know my wife would be on the live already, you know, just like out of support, whatever, just checking me out, like, you know, showing the support. And so when she sees Justin Bieber on there, like, is she texting you, or she knows, man, I can't distract him from what he's doing? Like, what's going on with her at that moment? Because that's all I was thinking about too.
She's very low profile, so she definitely doesn't want attention. And I don't typically ever put her personal stuff out there on my platform,
right?
Just because we both believe in you know, privacy, and in the digital age of social media, privacy, you can never protect it enough. And so I really never put her out there, or get specific or share her profile or anything, but I pinned her comment. And and the funny thing is, I think for her experience, I thought pinning her comment would just be a fun little homage to her, but she ended up picking up like hundreds of follow requests and people sending, like, you know, funny things in the chat. Some people sending her, like, some people I think were upset with her in the chat. So yeah, that was her experience with it. Was, you know, I might have put her in the spotlight a little bit more than she wanted.
Okay, yeah, but is she a Justin Bieber fan? Huge, like, you? Okay.
We both are, you know, and especially, you know, in the past week, every time I hear her, she's humming the melody to a new song, whether it's like Off My Face or Anyone.
She's Off My Face. Off My Face is a jam, bro. And I know everybody's listening to Peaches. Peaches is a jam too, but Off My Face, that's a low-key banger on that.
Oh, for sure.
Album.
For sure.
Hey, all I can say about Justin right now is I used to low-key listen to him on some, being embarrassed, like, oh, I don't want anybody to know I'm listening to Justin Bieber.
Nah, bro, it's high key.
Now it's high key. It's like, oh, all I do is listen to Justin.
I feel vindicated though. I feel vindicated because I have been the biggest fan for the longest time. Even, you know, we're talking 10 years ago. Yeah. I've always loved his music. And I think nowadays you see more of the homies coming around and realizing, like, wow, he's remarkable. He's incredible. Like, he's not for any certain demographic.
Oh, funny story about that is I was with the homies and we were driving to play like a pickup game of basketball, like right after he dropped his latest album. And I made a comment like, hey guys, I've been low key listening to the new Justin album. And everybody's like, throw that shit on. I was like,
yeah, like, what do you mean low key?
I was like, all right.
Yeah, man. Everybody, that's the thing though, like, you know, but that's what inspires me about his music is that I want that same connectability with the listeners. I want my music to be as impactful and as meaningful to mid-20s guys as it is to 30-year-old women, as it is to teenage boys and girls, as it is to grown-ass adults. Like, you know, I want that same meaning in my message to be as widely received.
And I think you've been, especially with Slip, you definitely hit a home run. Everybody messes with that song. Like,
I hope so.
You really can't say you don't like that song. And I remember, like, I know I was watching a bunch of your interviews from this last week, and when you said that, I was like, man, dude, yeah, of course. Like, that's Anis. Anis is like, you're not niche. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me when you first started just freestyling, and then we talked last year after you dropped your first single. And I always knew that this buzz could, like, you have this great potential, dude. Like, and I'm not just saying this because, like, you're a Palestinian and you're my homie, but, like, for real, dude, like, I knew when you were freestyle, I was like, man, every time you freestyle, even when you were just, I don't know what you were doing before Justin made you perform Slip, but I was like, every one of these tracks is a banger. Give me them. Stop playing with me. You know, and so, like, and then when I saw you record, I'm like, thank God he's recording another one because I need to add to my playlist.
And I need to let you add to your playlist. That's the key thing for me right now as an independent artist is not riding this Slip wave too long. You know, I want to push it, and it's not like, oh man, I want to move on to the next song. No, I want, like, Slip in my mind, Slip has only
just begun.
Tasted the beginning of its wave. Like, I think it's going to pick up millions and millions of streams once, you know, God willing, Spotify and all these platforms, start to recognize it. But at the same time, it's important to follow up. It's important to deliver consistently. And so what you heard me record, I know you were just in my live like 10 minutes ago before we get in this interview. And I was recording, right here in the mobile studio, as you could see, I was recording Love is Crazy. And the beautiful thing about Love is Crazy is it's another love song.
Dude,
and
I love love songs.
I love songs too, man. And I used to be a little bit coy about it because I felt, the sappy, and I want people to take me seriously. But then I realized, like, what should you take more seriously than love?
Yeah.
What should earn more respect than the thing that bonds all of us as humans? So I'm all in on, I'm not gonna make myself a love song artist, but if I have a love song and I want to release it, I'm not gonna hesitate.
It's funny because like one of my favorite rappers is Lupe Fiasco. And he has a lot of low-key love songs, and I would always tweet at him like, dude, do more love songs, bro. Like, I just feel like, you know what I mean? Like, it won't take away from what you do. Your lyrics.
You're still hard.
You still are Lupe. You're still one of the hardest lyricists out there. Just give me some love songs. It's like
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. I've been tapping into Lupe's lives lately.
Yeah.
Man, he's spitting like different types of universal wisdom in his lives. But he's another good example of what you said. He's like a very well-rounded mind.
Yeah.
There's love, there's social critique, there's philosophy, there's like some theology.
Yeah, and he'll even once in a while he'll throw you a little trap banger.
For sure.
Just to show you he could do it. Like, he's not someone to, take lightly. But 100%. Something I definitely want to touch base with you about, and it kind of goes along with this, with you saying, hey, I got to be consistent. But I know over the last year, it's been hard for you because you've been going through the vocal cord issue. And I think when we did our interview last year, I think you might have been going through it, but I didn't know it at the time. Like, I really did. And
I probably was.
And I think because I think like just shortly after our interview, you kind of like announced it to the world that you were like, going to see a doctor about it. And I was like, holy crap, like that must be a scary moment for someone who just kind of dived into their dream. And I don't know what you were thinking at the time when you found out there might be something wrong. What was going on with you?
So it was just, I think it was a lot of things catching up to me at once. I had been going so hard, being very reckless with my health, staying up very late, getting very little sleep, pushing myself, stressing. Key component of it was not even the physical, was the mental. To compound what was already burdening me physically, I was adding this gigantic level of stress. I got to get the song out. I got to earn respect on these streaming platforms. I got to launch myself as an artist, And so I went really, really, really hard 1 week in particular, like to the point where I was barely sleeping. And then I followed up that week with an intense work of like physical labor, intense week of physical labor, I mean to say. And so when I got home, I was on a trip doing like volunteer work. When I got home, I just realized like, damn, I can't really sing. And if I try, it hurts. And my range is very small. And even not singing, like when I'm talking, it hurts. And it was terrifying because that's my craft, is my voice. So I went on like a medical journey. I met with probably 15 different types of doctors, ranging from ENTs to otolaryngologists, endocrinologists, GI doctors. I saw everybody, man. Everything that could possibly have to do with my throat and why I was feeling pain. And I saw multiple doctors of every single kind.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 8 months into that journey that I found the right doctor. So there was 8 months in between July and January where, I don't know if that math adds up. It probably doesn't. Maybe 6 months. Between July and January where I was injured, but I had no window of recovery that I could look at. And that was taxing on me mentally, because it wasn't even just like I'm in pain. It's like I have no certainty if this will ever go away. So yeah, thank God I found a doctor who explained, yeah, you know, your right vocal cord is super weak and you weakened it by overusing it. And so your left one is overcompensating, and that's why you're experiencing pain. And he explained that within 12 months, meaning this coming July, that I should be as healed as I will be. And I had a follow up with him this week, and he confirmed that my healing process is going according to plan. So thank God, man. That was definitely terrifying, but you know.
But once you found the doctor, and then especially just this past week when he gave you the good news, now that, what's the feeling like now? Is it a light at the end of the tunnel, or?
Yes, it feels that way. However, I still experience pain.
Okay.
I still, it's not nearly as bad as it was in the beginning, thank God, but it's definitely still there. So I do still need to work on not being stressed. I need to work on meditating. I need to work on praying. I need to work on vocal exercises. I need to work on my patience. If I were to just to take care of all those things, which, oh, by the way, I should be doing anyways, no matter what, I would be fine. And it's very cosmic that's the reality. It's like, oh, you want to protect your craft? Just do what you're supposed to do anyways. You know, make time to pray, make time to breathe, make time to stretch, make time to eat well, you know, exercise.
It's so much easier said than done, though, you know, like, honestly, like I just recently bought a Peloton, and I know I'm supposed to stretch before I hop on the thing, but I don't. I just hop on it. And then halfway through my ride, I'm like, bro, what'd you do to yourself?
Right.
But like that's the human nature. We just have no patience. We just jump right into things sometimes. But that leads me to my next question, which is, how many do you have in the chamber?
Ooh, 10. I have 10. They're not all at the same level as the other ones. 2 of them are ready to rock, and 2 of them I want to release in the next month and a half. So expect Love is Crazy and Drunk on Myself to come in short order.
Okay.
And then I've probably got 8 more that I want to release by the end of the summer. So this is going to be a hot summer for us. Like the spring and summer, like I'm planning to change the game for myself, and I'm planning to really be present in the streaming world. So you can count on that.
I'm about to have, I mean, I already do have my own Anis playlist, but there's like 4 or 5 tracks on it. I think I'm like 3 or 4 tracks on it. Now I'm about to have like 12, 15.
I'll give you a whole soccer team.
Bro, you gave me a whole 8 EP without giving me an EP. Is there a plan for that though? Is there a plan for to give your fans a whole project of music, or is it just you're just right now just planning on dropping singles?
So that's a great thing that I think about, is should they all be released as singles? And part of me does feel that they should be. You know, when you look at the independent artists in the world and how they've done it, you look, for instance, at a guy like Russ and how he's been able to really supercharge every single one of his songs by releasing it individually. Mm-hmm. That's always something I've believed in. I don't think my songs would be as successful had I released them at the same time as each other. You know, you make them compete. The way I look at it is, even I don't listen to my favorite artist's whole album in one go.
Yeah.
So how can I expect someone to listen to 4 of my songs at one time? It's not realistic. I might as well hit them one, and then maybe I hit them with 5 singles in a row, and then round out like an EP with like a 3-part release at one time. Mm-hmm. Maybe at that point that might make sense, but it's still a strategy that I have to figure out.
Of course. No, I mean, with anything when it comes to marketing and all that stuff, I'm no expertise on it. I try to hit home runs when I'm doing stuff for the magazine, and the last music issue we hit a home run, and you know, but that wasn't, honestly, there was no science behind it. It was just we made good content and people fed off of it. And I think you kind of understand that because you put out Slip and you're showing us that you got, you know, 250,000 streams on Spotify. I'm curious how many streams you got on Apple Music, because that's where I listen to you at.
Right.
And I don't know if this is a fair question, and you don't have to answer it, but which platform supports you more? Is it Spotify?
So I think that I get more streams on Spotify, but I don't know that it supports me more because I think per person I get equally as strong support from Apple Music. I think maybe just more people have Spotify at this point. But like, for instance, right now, can you hear me still?
I can still hear you, yeah.
Okay, because I'm getting a FaceTime from a number that
hey,
don't recognize.
It might be beeped out. You got to answer.
No. I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna finish up with you first. But I just, you never know these days, to be honest with you.
No, honestly.
So
you really don't.
So what I was gonna say is, I get the same amount of support per person on each platform, but I have maybe 300,000 on Spotify right now. No, not maybe. I have 312. I know the exact number. 312,000. And then and then on Apple Music, I have like about 150. So we're getting about half as much on Apple Music. But to be honest with you, I think that's actually a pretty decent ratio to have 2 to 1.
No, I really do. Because Apple Music, I feel like, because I've had both, and I like Apple Music more, so I canceled my Spotify subscription. But I feel like they cater more to the big artists. So
for sure.
So that 150,000 it's bigger than what it is, because
it's extremely organic.
Exactly, and plus me. Trust me, man. My wife is getting. She hasn't gotten sick of the song yet, but I'm gonna get her sick of it, because I just.
Hey, that's my goal. I want everybody to be sick of Slip before I drop Love Is Crazy.
Hey, every time I put I probably hear the song 2-3 times on my route to work and on my way back. But when I'm pulling up to my house, it's always like, "Hey Siri, play Slip by Anise." And
that's still crazy to me that you can do that. That you could ask, that you could say my name and they'll play a song.
She's lying.
Get out of here.
She's lying right now. She always plays it for me. She's lying right now, bro. Oh man. Hey, but Siri, that's such a Siri move right there, bro. It'll work in front of people. It'll be like, "Nah, I'm good. You're on your own, sir."
Siri, she's not loyal.
She's not loyal. That's I'm going to Spotify, Apple. God.
Yeah, khalas.
Khalas. Oh man. So we talked about Justin. We talked about your vocal cords. We talked about what you got in the chamber. What's been, in this moment right now, what's been the most gratifying thing for you? Was it the Justin Bieber cosign? Is it, the consistent people showing you love on social media? What's making you the happiest right now, outside of your wife and family and stuff like that?
Okay, yeah, well, that's kind of where I was gonna go with it.
Yeah, I knew because I know you. I know you're about to be like, "Oh, my wife makes me happy." I know, bro. Come on. I heard Slip, dog.
You want to know what's the most gratifying thing, man? Is just being healthy and being in a position where I can follow up.
Yeah.
After I dropped Maybe on my birthday, I really thought I would have 15 songs out by now, and it wasn't God's plan. And instead I got injured. And I think it was the biggest blessing that I was out of the game for 6-7 months, because it forced me to take a step back and grow and read and think and just look around and see how far I had come.
Did you fall back now I'm just craft?
What'd you say?
Did you fall back in love with the craft?
I don't think I ever fell out of love with it, but I think I learned to love it in a more sustainable way, where it wasn't so much about growing in terms of numbers, but instead it's like, okay, I can make a real impact. Like, especially now that I see the impact, I think that's maybe on another, what some of the most gratifying things for me have also been people sending me messages in the DMs talking about how Slip is the song that they're going to get married to, or Slip is the song that encouraged them to take that next step with their partner, or Slip is the song that encourage them to even love themselves. They interpret it as a self-love song, and that's beautiful.
I saw someone tweet that. I saw someone said, I'm gonna sing Slip at myself until someone deserves my love.
Exactly.
I love it.
And you know what? If that song, if nothing else, encouraged every girl who's listening to it and every guy who's listening to it to think, you know, I want someone who loves me this much, then good, because there's too much fake love these days, and there's too much shallow affection that gets disguised as love, when I want people to want someone who is enigmatically royal, elegant, empathetic, and, you know, and maybe brings their blood to a boil, but at the same time, you know, their heart is where their home is, their soul exists in their soil. Like, I want people to internalize those lyrics because they came from my soul. Like, they didn't come from a team session with 10 people where it's like, all right, let's come up with the most catchy and marketable lyrics. Like, no, that shit came from the core. Yeah. So,
and I felt
the gratifying
when I look
thing
at
is,
when I look at my daughter, and I feel every word. Like, dude, when she does things that are gonna make, like, that are dangerous for her, she makes my blood boil. It's like, why are you doing that? You might hit your head, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, I love her so damn much, and there's no song out right now that makes me, that I can describe to her. Like, I just literally sing that song to her, bro, and I sound like crap singing it, so I play you.
I
play on it. I'm like, I need to sing to my baby, G. And wallah, man, mashallah, 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 man. Allah Yahmeek, bro. That, like, the song is just, it's a lifetime banger. And honestly, if I ever, and I'm thinking about this maybe on a 10-year anniversary, throwing something for my wifey, that's gonna be the song, bro. Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
It'd be my honor, man. Listen, the fact that people can connect, and that's, you know what, like, to circle back and really, really make it clear, because now I'm realizing the more we talk about it, what I'm more grateful for. The most gratifying thing is that people such as yourself and hopefully the vast majority of people who have listened to it are connecting. Like, people are able to repeat and repeat and repeat a song because it's catchy, but that's only one reason. You know, like, you can repeat a lot of catchy songs that don't mean anything. So the fact that I was able to give people a song that they can repeat that is actually substantial, it shows me, you know what, Anise, you don't need to sell out. You don't need to go write empty lyrics to be a success. I can write from the heart, from the soul, from the spirit, and it can still be a success in the industry. And so that, to me, like, that's the existential crisis for any artist or for any songwriter. So, like, that like, I look at the world brighter now, where it's like, you know what, for the rest of my life, I will never write a song that is less real than that one, because that succeeded.
Just always writing from the heart. That's what's up. I got 2 questions left for you. One, I probably should have asked earlier when we were talking about you recording in your car. Why do you record in your car?
I like that question. I don't think anybody's ever asked that specifically. It started off as a comfort zone, I'm not gonna lie. It's out of my house, I'm alone, the acoustics are good. And I've spent months of my life in my car. Yeah. I commuted to and from college and law school in my car. I delivered tens of thousands of pizzas in my car. I visited my wife, who used to live 10 hours away before we were married, a handful of times in this car. I drove to and from. Engaged? Dating, engaged. Bro, I've taken hundreds of road trips in this car.
But 10 hours, damn. Honestly, yeah, no, you love your wife, bro.
So, you know, like, it started off as that. This is obviously a place I'm very comfortable.
Right.
But more, and then, you know, in the beginning of my Instagram, people would be like, get out of your car, you know, go out there in the world, don't hide in your car. And I was like, you know what, they're right. Let me get out of so I started doing that. I started recording in parks and public and wherever. But now, I'm starting to realize, like, one, my car has really damn good acoustics. I got a microphone. Shout out to Shure. Maybe they want to, you know, throw me a bag. They got a microphone that can handle the environment. It doesn't need a fully treated room. Yeah. But most importantly, this car reminds me of a lot of things. Like, people always ask, like, what's up with that Domino's box in the back? Yeah. Why do you keep that there? Is that pizza in there? Throw it away. And I'm like, no, like, we don't always have to get into it, but if you really want to talk about it, that pizza box reminds me of everything I learned. That pizza box is a relic of a time that I never want to forget. because when I was delivering pizzas, not just in college, not just in high school, but especially when I was delivering pizzas after I finished law school and passed the bar, and I was very depressed, it reminded me who I was. Mm-hmm. Because I hated law school. Yeah. And I hated law. And I went back to Domino's as a barred attorney and asked if I could deliver pizzas on the weekend. And they said yes. And in those pizza deliveries, I remembered, no, I'm a hustler. I'm good with people. Because law school made me feel a lot of bad things about myself. Made me feel like I wasn't enough. Made me feel like I wasn't, made me forget who I was. And then that pizza box reminded me who I was. I am, it's like I say in the song Drunk on Myself, I'm Gonna Relief. I'm charming, funny, and witty, hardworking and gritty, entertaining and passionate, meant for this like a grizzly. I'm mentally getting busy and pondering self-worth. Like, I am meant for big things. Yeah. And that large box back there is a reminder.
I remember we talked in the first episode, people really want to go back and we really dove into like your time in law school and how it made you feel and stuff. But I don't remember if I asked you back then why you chose law.
Mindlessness.
Just mindlessness? Does that? Because like you're like, I look at you and dude, you're smart as hell. You know what I mean? You're a good looking dude. Like, I feel like at that point in your life, you probably had, and I'm just making an assumption, you had a couple different options to go to. What made you go to law?
Well, okay. If I could probably answer it in a different way and just say that lack of self-love and lack of self-belief. Because for me, I always wanted to, freestyling has been my therapy since I was 15. So I've been making music for a long ass time. Yeah. And, but never once in my teenage years or in my early 20s did I think this could be a career. But I was talented enough the whole time. But I lacked the self-love at the time in my life to I was worried about what people would say. What will the community say? What will my aunts, uncles, cousins, what will my colleagues say? What if I fail? Will that be the most embarrassing thing in my life? So I didn't have enough self-love to say, no, this is what your heart wants, go for it. And I didn't have enough self-belief at the time to override those fears of, you know what, those fears are real. They're real, but you're good enough. Yeah. And once I got
those your two friends and your brother, and even your sister is hella supportive. Mm-hmm. And that's the question I was going to leave on because like there's no way I could do this interview with you and not ask about your sister, who's always putting you on, always showing you love.
Shout out Layla.
Wallah, shout out Layla. I think, man, I'm not 100% sure. I think she's the one who put me onto you. I'm not 100% sure. I think she shared
most likely
one day. And I was like, wait a minute, there's a Palestinian doing freestyles. Man, dude, I wished I was a fly on the wall during all those deliveries and hearing those freestyles because, man, there's a lot of, I feel like, untapped content that just you unrecorded stuff because we talked about it last time.
But that's the beauty of it. Yeah, that's the beauty of it is that stuff exists only in the ether of my memory. But yeah, shout out Layla. But not only Layla, shout out my other sister Lena. Shout out my brother Salim, my mom, my dad. They've all come in the clutch in different ways. Obviously, Layla is a master communicator, publicist, communications person. Yeah. But my sister Lena's working just as hard on the low, DMing my shit to everybody she knows. My brother Salim is the one who designed the merch and the stickers, and the cover art. And my parents, not too many Palestinian children can say that their parents fully supported from the very beginning their decision to chase the arts rather than the security blanket of traditional work.
If I passed the bar and then I went to my dad and my mom and I said, hey, I know I could be a lawyer, but so Allah yahmihum, your parents and your family for supporting you because, bro, they could have easily closed this beautiful artistic person off. They could have easily, all of them, they could have ganged up on you and said, no, dude, you're a lawyer. Go do lawyer stuff. But nah, bro, they saw you for what you were and they let you be who you are. And I got to thank them. And I'm glad that you named them each by name, bro, because if it wasn't for them, you probably would be a depressed
I wouldn't be here. No doubt. But you know what? All of them, yes, they deserve their credit. But at the end of the day, I think, it also might come back to my wife, because there's not a lot of women who would be willing in this world to hold it down for their man while he pursues something with no guarantees of, I'm not paying the bills right now. Straight up. I'm not. Like, I have a media company and I work in addition to making music, but like we couldn't survive on me alone.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that she holds it down and believed in me the whole time, amidst all of the thoughts that could have gone through her head.
Oh yeah, even when when your vocal cords went out, she could have easily been like, "Hey, honey, this is a sign."
A lot of women would have said this, right? When I passed the bar, a lot of women would have said this. Well, why don't you keep practicing and then do music on the side, right?
Yeah.
Or a lot of women would have said, okay, well, why don't we wait to see if why don't you work at a music? Why don't you work as an entertainment lawyer, music lawyer? Or when I got injured, okay, well, we gave it a go. You did really good. A lot of women would have been looking constantly for an angle out of this.
100%.
But at every step, she believed that I can be who I have always known that I will be.
But
and so,
shout out your support group, man. Shout out the people closest to you, because sometimes those people can be people's downfall. You know what I mean? But you, alhamdulillah, you got solid people around you. It sounds like you got solid friends, a solid family, mashallah. And
a solid faith, man. Like you said, alhamdulillah, like shout out God, like making this possible. I
always love your Instagram when you're showing off. And where are you at, bro? Virginia? Like, where's this beauty at, bro? I'm like, bro, what part of America looks that beautiful? This guy's like traveling to Palestine.
Every part looks this beautiful. And that's one of the most important messages that I ever want to create for people, because I never want to be in a position where it's like my message is unattainable to other people. Like, oh yeah, okay, it's beautiful where you live, and you have this life that shows you God in the details, but I can't see that. No, because you could put me anywhere and I could find it.
Yeah,
you could put me anywhere and I could find it, and you could put anybody anywhere, and with the right amount of faith and just I guess peace and clarity, anybody could find that. And so that's actually one of my most favorite things about what I'm doing is I'm trying my best to make sure that the message I'm conveying is never restricted to people in a certain circumstance. You feel me?
No, 100%, bro. Dude, this has been an amazing conversation, and I don't want to take up your entire day. But the last question is kind of a fun question because, well, here, two questions. Sorry. One last question about your car. Where are you parked right now? And when you record, do you just park randomly anywhere and just do your thing? Mm-hmm. Or is there a spot that you like to go to?
I rotate. Sometimes I go to grocery store parking lots. Grocery store parking lots are very nice. Yeah. I don't know if people realize that, but there's a lot of life. Yeah. There's moms going into the store with their kids. There's people going to get a smoothie or a bubble tea. There's a lot of commotion. It's a very vibrant place to be. Yeah. And then but sometimes I'll just pull up in a park, or I'll venture into the woods, because I don't need Wi-Fi to record, so I could be anywhere. Sometimes I'll go into national parks and park by the river. So yeah.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. And then my other question was, I asked this question last year, but things change in a year. Dream collaborations. Give me one, bro. Just your ultimate. And I don't even know if it has to be somebody that the track would be excellent with, or it's just somebody you just dream to work with.
Can I answer at any time in life, or does it have to be somebody who's right now?
Any time in life, bro.
Lauryn Hill.
Imagination time right now.
Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill, yes, sir. I could see that. I could see her singing a hook on one of your tracks, bro.
Bro, it would be the greatest honor in the world.
And a verse. Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing about Lauryn Hill is
she's like you.
I was just gonna say, she's who I aspire to be.
You're like her, bro.
Well, we're like each other. She's who I aspire to be like.
Yes.
Because she's the greatest. She's one of the greatest examples ever, if not the greatest example ever, of the ability to rap and sing, and at the same time. And so, yeah, I think I could. I mean, I always answer John Mayer.
Yeah.
And I always answer. I want to shake it up and give you other artists that today my answer is Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, no, because I think last time I asked you, you said John Mayer. I think that's.
Yeah, it would be boring if I gave you the same answer, Lauryn Hill. And guess what? Even right now, I'm like, I should have said India Arie, but
you said her last time.
You know what?
Too.
I'm sticking with Lauryn Hill. I'll give you 5 new artists next time.
Every time you drop a single, we got to do this, man.
100%. That would be my honor, man. Run it back every single time.
We support PIA, bro. I appreciate you. Denise, again, bro, thank you so much. You were listening to the Palestine in America podcast. I'm your host, Nader Ihmoud, editor-in-chief of Palestine in America, and I was joined by the ultra-talented Mokhiber, who is a singer, a writer, a rapper, just an all-out artist, bro. And man, I call him my friend. He doesn't have to feel the same way about me, but this is my friend.
I do.
And I'm a big-ass fan, so.
Likewise, brother, likewise. It was an honor to be on, and like you said, let's run it back for the next single.
Okay, let's do it. Hey, by the way, you're the first person I ran it back with ever on our podcast.
Really?
You're the first guy that I did a follow-up interview with for the PIA podcast. So
well, I'm happy that happy that I don't know if I reached out to you first or if you reached out to me, but I'm happy that we did.
I reached out to you first when I wanted to get you on the music edition last year, and then honestly, I was thinking about you. I was like, I know everybody.
I think I got to you first this time.
This time you did, but I didn't want to. See, I'm a bad journalist. I know that you're busy this week, and I know that everybody's hot on you. They want to get to you because you got that Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? So I wanted to give you your space, and I was so happy you reached out because I wanted to interview.
I appreciate that, and you know what? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there is a lot of press out here because of the Bieber cosign, but at the same time, 2 things come to mind as to why I made time for this. Or 3 things. 1, because I really enjoyed last time, and you are a friend to me. 2, because there's a special place in my schedule for people who made time for me before all the madness. And then 3, because man, I'm an artist. All press is good press.
You know what I'm saying? 1,000%, bro. 100%.
Let's get it.
Let's get it, dude. All right, bro. Stay safe. Get home safely, or wherever you're going. Get there safely. And I'm gonna hop on the live next time you go out there, because you already know.
I'll see you tonight, then.
All right, see you, bro.
Peace.
Peace.